Hello there, this is James and you're watching Tixee Live. And a very good afternoon to all of you. Hope everybody's having a great day. In today's program, I want to have a little chat about the Bank of Japan, the BOJ, and the current slide of the Japanese yen. As well as that, I then want to have a little chat about what's happening tomorrow. There might be a little something happening tomorrow. You might have heard of it. It's called the ECB Press conference. So we'll have a little chat about that. But before we get into this, don't forget, these little programs are for educational purposes only, and in no way whatsoever should ever be treated as financial advice. I always suggest you do your own research and do your own due diligence, and of course, know the risks at hand before entering any trade. With that out of the way, let's get to it. So, what's happening? I call this little bit the tale of three central banks, because there's three in particular I want to talk about. First of all, of course, which is the main subject of today's program, is Bank of Japan. Okay, Bank of Japan. Currently, as it stands, the Bank of Japan is standing firm on its monetary policy, very firm on its monetary policy, despite the fact that the yen is under considerable amount of pressure against a number of other major currencies. In fact, what they've said recently, and I'll share it with you now, this is the Bank of Japan governor. He said this. He said various macro models suggest the weak yen is a plus to the economy as long as it moves, as it moves are stable. Okay, the finance minister, Mr. Suzuki, he said the weak yen has both positive and negatives for an economy, although it could be negative if wages remain stagnant. So clearly, they are doing no indications at this moment in time that they are concerned by yen weakness. And this is what I mean by no change to monetary policy. Okay, because don't forget, you have these are the three central banks. Actually, there's four of them if you think about it. The interest rates currently, as it stands, US is currently at 1%, UK is currently at 1%, Euro, or the EU, which we'll talk about later, is currently at 0.00%, but that may change. But Bank of Japan is staying at minus 0.10%. The knock-on effect of this has obviously been the yen has really come under an awful lot of pressure. Currently, as it stands, it's trading at a 20-year low against the US dollar. It's trading the euro yen, another currency pair. The euro yen is trading at a 7-year high. And the British pound, Japanese yen, also known as the guppy, it's one of my favorite pairs actually, is currently trading at levels not seen since 2016. So let's have a quick look at these pairs and where the yen is trading currently at the moment. So first up is the dollar Japanese yen. And like I said, it's a 20-year, well, I can say the dollar is a 20-year high against the yen. I guess you could say that as well. It's currently trading now above 134.21. When we started this program, when we talked about it today, good vibes. Thank you very much. It's a very nice comment. Thank you. When we started this program this morning, it was trading around just under 134, and there was good chat that was 134 the next level. It's now trading above 134 against the dollar. So again, as you can see, clearly we're on a strong uptrend on this. We have been for a while, but because of the BOJ is not changing its monetary policy, the dollar remains extremely bullish against the yen. The RSI on this, if we actually turn it to a 4-hour chart, okay, it's a 4-hour chart, we can see then quite strong uptrend. The RSI is above 70 quite dramatically. And don't forget, you know the theory with the RSI. If the RSI is above 70, sorry, I need a swig of water. If the RSI is above 70, then potentially that indicates the market is overbought and you could see a sell-off. Now, I think at the moment the momentum is against the yen, especially with the BOJ not changing its stance currently. So you may see a bit of a sell-off, but the overall trend at the moment, like I say, looks extremely bullish potentially for the US dollar. If you look at the euro yen, same picture. Okay, currently trading around about 144 right now, 134 right now. Again, we're on an uptrend. Above the 100-day moving average, above the 200-day moving average. Yes, the RSI is above the 70, so it indicates that, yeah, it could be potentially overbought, so we might see a little bit of a sell-off. But overall, again, because of the BOJ stance and what's happening tomorrow, which I'll talk about in a minute, the overall trend is bullish with the euro at the moment. If you look at the guppy, which is the British pound, Japanese yen, okay, let's do it on an hour to give us a better picture. Again, we're trading out 168.24, levels we haven't seen since 2016. Yes, so again, we're above the 100-day and 200-day moving average. And don't forget, the Bank of England has increased interest rates. The Fed has increased interest rates and likely to do so, even more so. And the ECB, like I say, we'll talk about in a bit, they look like, and the market is sort of looking at them to possibly pull the trigger, maybe not this month, but in July. But again, like I say, we'll talk about that in a little bit. So really, you know, as it stands, the only real thing which could really possibly, you know, unless we have some shocking news, again, this is all potential. Nobody actually ever knows where the market's ever going to go. But like I say, the only thing which really could possibly give the yen a bit of assistance at the moment is intervention. If the BOJ intervenes, at the moment, they're not blinking. They're not indicating that they are going to intervene in any way. Okay, the last time they intervened was back in 2011. That's when the tsunami hit Japan on the coast. You had that power station. They intervened then because the Japanese yen skyrocketed against the majors. So that's the last time they intervened, back in 2011. So really, we're looking for any signs, any indications that the Bank of Japan may intervene at some point to stop the yen sliding. But at the moment, it seems like they're happy to let it slide. Why would you like to let your currency slide? Well, it's easy, okay? Because obviously, bear in mind, Japan's a major manufacturer as well. They can sell their goods for cheaper. Plus, they can encourage tourism because people can get more for their buck, so to speak. They can spend their dollars is worth more than yen, so they can spend more when they go on holiday. So it's all a case of like injecting into their economy as well. So is it currency manipulation? You could possibly say it is in some ways. But anyway, that's the big story at the moment. The yen slide is basically being pushed down the water slide currently by the Bank of Japan. And it doesn't look like there's any signs of intervention yet, but we need to watch out for it just in case they do. Of course, I will listen out to it. And if I hear any indications they might intervene, of course, I'll share it on my little program. Other news, EU GDP. Remember we talked about that earlier on? That came in today as well. It was announced at 5.4% versus 5.1% expected. So better than expected. And how did the euro do? Obviously, we've seen it against the yen. Let's have a quick look and see how it's doing, how it did against the dollar on the back of that information. Give me a second. Let me pull it up. Euro dollar. Here we go. Okay. Remember, beginning of today's program, okay, we mentioned obviously about the GDP coming up. It was currently trading around about the 1.7 point. It's been capped actually at 1.07. It's now currently trading at 1.7351 because yes, that GDP information came in better. And the reason for that is that as the GDP came in better, it gives the market more confidence that the ECB might actually do something. They might indeed raise interest rates in the near future because obviously if the GDP is performing well, maybe the EU economy can afford to take higher interest rates. So again, that gives a boost to that. Right, hang on, it's my mouse. Give me a second. Sorry about that. Lost my mouse there. So yes, now moving on. Sorry, my voice gets so dry. Moving on. Obviously, we got the ECB press conference tomorrow. Obviously, we got the interest rate decision, but I've already said I'd be really surprised if they did raise interest rates tomorrow. I don't think they will. What I do think they will do, though, is they will end their bond purchasing program tomorrow and talk about ending that. But then it will all shift to the press conference, how hawkish they're going to be. Now, some analysts are speculating that the ECB can raise interest rates by 75 basis points by September. So that's quite a hawkish expectation. So by September, 75 basis points. And if we get hints in this press conference that the ECB are going to start pulling the trigger in July and how aggressive they're going to be, then obviously then the ECB will join the Fed and the Bank of England in the rate hike club and leave poor Bank of Japan on its own with its very ultra-loose monetary policy. So that's the interesting thing. So ECB tomorrow, like I say, I will do a special on the press conference to explain what was said and what was discussed and how hawkish they were. And of course, we'll look at the impact that has on the euro dollar. But the main event, those who've watched me already today know I'm super excited about this. And that's Inflation Friday, which is what I'm calling it, which is, of course, is the Consumer Price Index, which is due this Friday, 12:30 p.m. UTC. And I will be doing a watch along with that event because I think the market is really excited about that. And potentially, this could be a big mover. So we're watching that very closely. So please come along and join me. I'll be going on air about 12:20 p.m. UTC. So 10 minutes before the announcement so we can discuss it first and talk about it. And then, we'll watch it live. So please join me on that. Markets as they stand, currently European markets, and I spoke a lot about currencies today, a little bit down. Okay, not drastically down, but you've got Euro stocks minus 0.70%. FTSE's currently trading at minus 0.75%. And DAX currently trading negative 0.22%. Other events, I've already discussed it. There's only one in my eye, and that's the ECB press conference. But really, the US CPI, that's the big one. But we do have it, the ECB interest rate decision tomorrow. Again, like I said, I'm not expecting any action on that, but the action on the press conference and definitely on the US CPI. So, okay, don't forget, you can ask me questions while I'm live on air. This is what I'm here for. So please, ask me questions about the market, my opinion. If I know the answer, obviously, I'll tell you. If I don't know the answer, I'll find it out for you and I will share it with you on my next program. But other than a couple of nice comments, I don't think there's any questions, but always feel free to ask me. If you think of a question later, jot it on the comments below the episode. I will see it and I will answer it next time I come online. So I will be online so I can answer the question for you next time. So always remember that. But as there's no questions, not a problem. Now, remember, if you're watching me on Facebook and you like it, give us a follow. If you're watching me on YouTube and you like it, subscribe if you like. Hit the notification button so you know next time I'm going live. If you found this little program enjoyable, interesting, insightful, and above all, educational, give me one of those. It'll put a smile on my face. But anyway, till next time, remember, these little programs are for educational purposes only, and in no way whatsoever should ever be taken as advice. I always suggest you do your own research and do your own due diligence. And of course, know the risks at hand before entering any trade. Till next time, well, tomorrow morning, till next time, every single one of you, trade safe.